Dear children, welcome to the video class. Grade 10 Science Chapter 12.7 Heating Effect of Electric Current. Dear children of grade 10, welcome to the science class. In this class, we are going to see the topic 12.7 Heating Effect of Electric Current. Already we have seen the topics up to 12.6 in the class itself. Now we are going to see the topic 12.7. Okay, before going to this class, let us recall what we have learned in about this topic in the previous classes. We know that the cell is the source of electrical energy. From the cell only we are getting the electrical energy. What is meant by battery? Battery is nothing but the combination of cells. Now let us consider a cell. A cell is having one positive terminal and one negative terminal. Some chemical reaction is taking place inside the cell. Because of that, a potential difference is created between the two terminals. What are the two terminals? One is the negative terminal, other one is the positive terminal. So negative terminal means it is rich in electrons. Positive terminal means it is deficient in electrons. So what happens? The electrons moves from the high region to the low region. So it causes the flow of electrons and thus current is produced, isn't it? So this and all we have seen in this chapter in the class itself, isn't it? Yes, now we are going to see how the chemical energy is converted, how we are getting this chemical energy is converted into the electrical energy. Okay, now let us see the topic. Okay, now let us see how this chemical energy is converted into electrical energy. In the cell this is happening, isn't it? So some amount of chemical reaction is taking place. Because of that, a potential difference is created. Because of that, the flow of electrons takes place. We know that the flow of electrons is current. Okay, now let us see. Okay, so let us see a fan. Okay, let us consider fan. Okay, what happens when we switch on the fan? Okay, the blades is rotating. The blades of the fan is rotating, isn't it? Okay, so that is the useful work, isn't it? So automatically what happens? The fan gets heated, isn't it? Okay, let us take this, we can see this experience in our day-to-day life also. When we switch on the mixie, what happens? The mixie is grinding anything, isn't it? So that is the useful work. After the work has been completed, if you touch that, what happens? If you touch that jar, what happens? The jar becomes heated, isn't it? Okay, so what is meant by that? Okay, what is meant by that? Okay, now all of you take your book and underline the words. A part of source of energy in maintaining the current may be consumed into useful work. Rest may be expanded out as heat. Okay, it rises the temperature of the gadget. Not only fan, not only mixie, in every electrical appliances we used to see this. Okay, a useful work has been obtained. What happens? The gadget becomes hot. We can see this in computer, we can see this in fan, we can see everywhere, isn't it? Okay, now see. Okay, let us consider a pure resistive system. Okay, let's consider a pure resistive system. For learning this, you have to recall the Ohm's law, you have to recall resistance, conductance, everything you have to recall. Okay, recall everything. I will ask questions in the meet class. Okay, so what is meant by pure resistive circuit? Okay, so what is meant by pure resistive circuit? Okay, you can see this in iron boxes and all. Okay, so you take a nichrome wire. Okay, you take a nichrome wire. Okay, if you heat the nichrome wire, what happens? It gets heated. It does not conduct electricity. Okay, it does not conduct electricity. Instead of that, what happens? It gets heated, isn't it? So that is an example of pure resistive system. Okay, so this is an example for pure resistive system. Okay, this is utilized in electric electric heater and electric iron. Okay, so this is employed in electric heater and electric iron. Okay, so what happens in pure resistive system? Okay, what happens in pure resistive system? Okay, the work itself dissipating that electrical energy into heat. Okay, that the work itself converting the electrical energy into heat. Okay, now let us derive the equations for this. Okay, now let us derive the equation for this. We are going to calculate the amount of heat generated in a conductor. Okay, what we are going to do? We are going to calculate the amount. How much amount of heat generated in a conductor? Okay, yes. For that, okay, let us think. Okay, a current I. Okay, so what is meant by current? Current and all we have seen in the previous class itself, isn't it? Yes, you go and recall what is current. If you have forgotten means you go and recall what is current. Okay, now let us consider a resistor. Okay, now let us consider a resistor. Resistor means it opposes the flow of current. Okay, it opposes the flow of current. Instead of converting into electric energy, it gets heated, isn't it? So what is the resistance of the resistor? R. Okay, what is the resistance of the resistor? R. Capital R is the resistance of the resistor, and the how much amount of current is flowing? I amount of current is flowing. So what happens means, as a result, a potential difference is created. Okay, a potential difference is created. Okay, so that potential difference is denoted by the letter capital V. Okay, so it was shown in the figure 12.3. Let us see the figure 12.3. See, a resistor is there. Okay, a resistor is there. It is having a resistor is there. It is having a resistance of capital R. Okay, a battery is connected. So, I amount of current is passing. Okay, so that current is measured by the ammeter. As a result, a potential difference is also created. That potential difference is measured by the voltmeter. That's and all we have learned in the previous classes itself. Is it, children? Okay, you go and recall. Okay, before going through this video, you recall the previous things. Okay, yes. Now what happens means, the time during a particular time, the charge Q flows. Okay, so what is the work done? So work done is VQ. Okay, what is the work done? Work done is VQ. Okay, then we are introducing one term here, power. Okay, we are introducing one term here, power. So what is the formula for the power? Power is equal to V into Q divided by T. Okay, what is meant by P? P is the power, V is the potential difference, Q is the amount of charge flowing through the circuit. Okay, T is the particular time. So Q by T we can use I. Instead of Q and T we can use I. So power is equal to VI. Okay, the power is equal to VI. Okay, so now we have derived for power. Okay, so for this I and all we have seen in the previous classes itself. You have written in the test itself. Okay, go through the previous things. Okay, then we are going to calculate the amount of heat generated in a circuit. Okay, now for heat generated in a circuit, we have to multiply this power by T. Okay, we have to multiply this power by T. So what is the formula for the heat generated? H is equal to P into T. Okay, T is the particular time. At what half, it denotes the time the current is flowing through the circuit. Okay, so H is equal to P into T. So instead of P we can put V. So H is equal to VI into T. So what is H? H is the amount of heat produced. And what is V? V is the potential difference. And what is I? I is the current and T is the time. Okay. Now what we are going to do means, we are going to apply Ohm's law here. Okay, we are going to apply Ohm's law here. So what is Ohm's law? What is Ohm's law, children? Okay, can you recall what is Ohm's law? Ohm's law, what is the formula for Ohm's law? R is equal to V by I. Okay, this is Ohm's law, isn't it? R is equal to V by I. This is Ohm's law. Now what we are going to do is, okay, instead of V, we are going to substitute. So what is V? What is V? V is equal to IR. So if you substitute V here, means the equation will be converted into HI square RT. Okay, the equation will be converted into HI square RT. So this is the formula for the amount of heat generated in a resistor. Okay, so this is also known as Joule's law of heating. Okay, this equation is also known as Joule's law of heating. So what this law denotes? Okay, this law denotes that the amount of heat produced is square the root of the current and the resistance and the time through which the current flows. Okay, so what happens in practical situations when an electrical appliance is connected to a known voltage surface? We have to use I into V by R. Okay, so if the current is, if the electrical appliance is connected to the voltage source, means we have to use, instead of I, we have to use V by R. Okay, so this is the calculation of heat generated in a conductor. Okay, children, have you all understood? Now let us move for the problems. Okay, come to the problem example 12.10. Okay, an electrical iron consumes energy at a rate of 840 watts when heating is at a maximum rate and 360 watts when the heating is at minimum. Okay, the voltage is 220. What are the current and resistance in each case? Okay, so what they are telling means the electrical iron consumes energy, okay, at a rate of 840 watts when heating at the maximum rate. Okay, we know that 1, 2, 3 will be there now. Okay, so 1 is the minimum and 3 will be the maximum. Okay, when it is heated at the maximum rate, it consumes 360 watts. Okay, when it is heated at the minimum means it consumes, when it is heated at the maximum means it consumes 840 watts, and when it is heated in a minimum means it consumes 360 watts. The voltage is given. They are asking the current and the resistance in each case. Okay, so for that first we have to find out what is the current and resistance in each case. That is, what is the current and resistance at maximum and what is the current and resistance at minimum. Okay, for that we have to use this formula. P is equal to V into I. Okay, so we want to use the formula for the power. Okay, so P is equal to V into I. So in this case we need I, no? So we can keep I here and we can take V on the left side. So the equation becomes I is equal to P by V. Then you can substitute. So what is the power in the maximum rate? The power at the maximum rate is 840 watts. So the voltage is 220 watts. We are dividing means we will be getting 3.82. And we have to calculate the resistance also. So what is the formula for the resistance? V by I. So the voltage is given 220 and we have to substitute the current. We can get 5.60 ohm. Okay. Then you have to do for the minimum rate also. Okay, children, have you understood minimum rate also? You have to apply the same thing and you have to find out. Okay, go through the problem. Okay, then example 12.11. Okay, 100 joule of heat is produced heat second in 4 ohm resistance. Find the potential difference across the resistor. Okay, the heat is given and the resistance also given. You have to find out the potential difference. Potential differences means V. The time is also given. Then see in the solution, H is given. H is 100 joules, R is 4 ohm and the time is 1 second. V is asked, isn't it? Then we have to use this formula. That is, we have to use the heat generator. H is equal to I square RT. So this formula we have to use. Okay, we have to use this formula. So here we need I only. So we can take I square in one side. So H divided by RT will come, isn't it? So H divided by, so I square is equal to H divided by RT will come. So now we want I. So I is equal to square root of H divided by RT. So this is the formula. Okay, have you got the formula now? Okay, now you have to apply everything. Okay, we have to substitute everything. On substitution we get 5. Okay, so the unit is ampere. Okay, unit is very important, children. Okay, then we have to calculate the potential difference. We have to use the Ohm's law. Okay, so V is equal to I into R, that is Ohm's law. R is equal to V by I, V is equal to IR. So we can substitute and we can find out the potential difference also. Okay, children, have you all understood, children? Dear children, now we are going to see the practical applications of heating effect of electric current. In this we are going to see the uses of electrical bulb and electrical fuse also. Okay, like that similarly, that is the electric laundry iron, electric toaster, electric oven, electric kettle, electric heater, or some of the familiar devices that use this Joule heating effect. Okay, now let us see the electric bulb and electric fuse also. Okay, listen children, I will tell it as a story. You can take hints. Okay, first let us go for this electric bulb. Okay, in this electric bulb we have a filament that is made up of tungsten. Okay, we have the filament that is made up of tungsten. Okay, so what happens means when current passes, it dissipates in the form of heat. Okay, it dissipates that in the form of heat. So this tungsten is having high resistivity and high melting point also. Okay, so it will not conduct the heat, just it will convert that into heat. It will not convert that into current. So what happens when current is passed means, okay, it dissipates everything in the form of heat. Okay, and we are getting light. Okay, the filament is thermally isolated and the bulb is filled with chemically inactive gases. Okay, like argon gas, neon gas, noble gases, like that it is filled with chemically inert gases. Okay, children. Okay, then this is the most important thing. Okay, so the thought is, what do we understand from this means the tungsten is having high resistivity. Okay, the second one is electric fuse. Okay, the second one is electric fuse. Okay, this electric fuse is also based on Joule's heating effect. It produces circuits and appliances, and also it protects the house from fire hazard. If any high amount of current comes means, automatically what happens? The fuse will melt and it will stop the current to pass. Okay, so what it contains means, it contains of an alloy of lead and tin. Okay, it consists of an alloy of lead and tin. It is having one appropriate melting point. Okay, it is having one appropriate melting point. Okay, so for example, what to say, like copper has one melting point, no? Like that, the fuse is an alloy. Alloy means it is a combination of lead and tin. Okay, and it is having one appropriate melting point. So what happens means, when the current exceeds the safe limit, when the current is coming exceeds the safe limit, if the current is coming more than the safe limit means, what happens? The temperature increases and the wire melts and it fuses and it prevents from fire hazards also. Okay, so fuses are always rated for different current values such as 1 ampere, 2 ampere, 5 ampere, 10 ampere and 15 ampere. It depends upon the domestic purpose and it depends upon the amount which we are using. Okay, children, have you all understood, children? Okay, children. Dear children, your activity for this class is, you write the formula for power and heat generated and explain the terms also. That is, you have to explain what is H, what is I, what is V, and what is R, like that. And you do the problems in page number 218. Then the third question is write a short note on electric fuse. Okay, this is a short answer question. Okay, then the last question is why alloys are used in heating devices. So this is a VSAQ. So your answer should be in one sentence or in one word. Okay, do the activity and submit soon, children. Meet you all in the meet class. Thank you, children.